Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the snake. So welcome back all my snake friends. I would just like to say that we are going to be changing it up a little bit with the Chinese Zodiac videos. Due to scheduling and my busy routine that I have decided that I am going to no longer do daily videos or weekly videos, sorry. Instead I'm going to be doing monthly videos, and I'm going to not do that on Patreon as previously decided. I want to explore more with the Chinese Zodiac, and I feel they're restricting Patreon to the monthly 9 reading spreads. I'm actually stopping myself from actually learning more and exploring more. So my plan is I'm going to be doing 9 card spreads for the Chinese Zodiacs spread over the course of a month. So you'll get monthly readings from now on rather than the daily readings, or sorry, weekly readings. It's because I do them every day. Despite the fact that obviously you get 1 reading for the snake a week. I'm doing 12 readings a week, and I've decided that to fit myself around it and to continue doing it, I will be doing 9 card readings once a month for each sign. The first 3 will be your general reading, just as it kind of was before. The second reading will be for love, romance, and in that kind of area. And the third being finance, job, career type reading. Of course, this means that the readings will take slightly longer, probably not as long as this one will today, because obviously I'm explaining beforehand. So a couple of minutes is being taken up with the explanation of what's happening with the videos. So I kind of guess that they'll be probably a lot less than what they are, or what this one will be today. So I won't be putting any of this now on Patreon. Instead, Patreon will still be there. If you just want to show support, you can just click on the link below, sign up, show some support to this channel, but all content will remain free here, available to everybody. So I've done this already a few times for other signs. So I'm just going to go with what I'm doing here, because obviously this is new to me as well. So it won't be as, I suppose, fluent as the previous ones that I had obviously over a year to get used to. So I will apologise if it does come out a little bit weird or all over the place. I mean, if this doesn't work, then I'll go back to just a 3 card spread again, just once a month rather than once a week, because I really want to continue doing this. However, it just takes up so much of my time, and this time of year I'm incredibly busy. So I want to keep doing it. I just need to fit it in, and this is my way of doing that. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's see where we're at today. So it's the same as before. We're going to close our eyes, we're going to shuffle them up, we're just going to move them around, and we're going to mix them up to find 3 for you guys. Let's see what we've got today. Let's stop about there, and we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take that one from the middle, we're going to take that one from the top, and see what we've got. So first up then, we've got 1 positive, 2 negatives. It still is the same. Black isn't always an attack, white isn't always all right. That will remain forever the same. We are looking at the compatibility, and that is what makes this channel unique. These readings are unique because we don't just see what the guidebook says when it comes to reading the cards. In fact, I've never looked at that book, never once opened it, because we are using the compatibility of the cards with your own individual, or not individual because you're all snakes, but your own actual sign. So that will be your general reading. We're going to move that up for now for the first 3, and basically we're going to shuffle them again, and we are going to pick another 3, but this time we're going to set the intention to get a reading and get, you know, some I guess words of advice or wisdom, or, you know, whatever it is you get from this, clarity or understanding. I know a lot of people have have expressed how it helps them, which is great, and it's encouraging, and that's why again I want to continue doing this. But this time we're going to look at more your love, romance and relationships. I think we're going to stop about there, and we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take that one from the middle, we're going to take that one from the top. We're going to see what we've got. We've got a black, a white and a black. That's negative, positive, negative. Again, we've got those two negatives there, but black isn't always an attack. With every reading, it's going to remain the same. White isn't always all right. That's just how it is. It's not going to change from that. Let's shuffle the next line up, see what we've got, and this time it's for money, finances, job, career. Let's see how you guys are going to fare this month. Obviously, we are nearing the end of May now, which will basically mean that your reading will now cover you from here until the next one. So it may be the end of May, but your next one will be the end of June. So we always move forward. We're moving forward. So what's going to happen over the next 4 weeks or so for you guys? Let's stop about there. Open up those eyes. Take that one from the bottom. Take that one from the middle. Take that one from the top. This is what we got. 2 negatives and a positive. So there's a lot of negatives there. We got, and this is the thing with the new readings. You are going to see a lot more kind of, I was going to say colour, but it's not colour, is it? A lot more kind of in the way of negatives to positive and the ratio there. So with a lot of negatives here, we could be a bit pessimistic, but let's not panic. All of these blacks might not be an attack. The whites may not be all right. What we're going to do though is we're going to move these 3 down, then we're going to move these 3 down, and then we're going to pull these into frame, and then we're going to turn them over just like before to see what we've got. Let's flip this over, and the first card we got is the white monkey. Now monkeys and snakes don't necessarily get on very well. They're not the greatest of friends, unfortunately, but we are seeing this in a white place, which could identify you standing your ground and now basically doing stuff for you and what works best for you. You've calculated that there's a lot of heavy weight that you've been carrying around when you don't need to. You've done this kind of list process of writing down or figuring out what it is that you could probably afford to lose or leave behind and what you can make space for. If you think of our lives as a room, when the room gets too full, it's overwhelming. There's no space to bring anything else in. It's too much. It's cluttered. It can become almost like a trap or a cage or a prison. It's what we live every single day, and we take that with us. I feel that maybe you've had a bit of a clear out. You started to figure out what you can actually leave, what you can lose, what you can just replace or get rid of or not worry about. You know, if you're not using it, then you're losing it. Simple as that, which can go either way. This can make you feel all manner of different things. This can make you feel relieved or, you know, feeling as if a whole weight has been lifted and that you're feeling a lot better about yourself because of this. It can make you feel like you've been given a more purpose or a sense of achievement. This can make us feel good about ourselves. But at the same time, it may make you feel guilty. It may make you feel a little bit, I suppose, in some ways, like questioning yourself. Have you made the right decision? Have you not? When we start to let things go, there's always that moment of guilt or almost grief as we let it go and say goodbye. We'll then also have to deal with in the future nostalgia or memories that will remind us of this, or even triggers that may remind us of this. Just because we've left something by the side of the road, it doesn't mean that we're not going to think about it next time we see a similar thing or experience a similar thing to what we've left behind. We can move on from things, but it doesn't mean that we always move on from them. What we're seeing here is that monkey empowering you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be easy. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to feel great about it either. I'm going to flip this one over. A better card. incompatibility wise. So this is an example of black not being an attack. We've got the dragon here, the doer. The doers are coming out here. We got 2 now for 3, and you know, obviously we don't know what this is, but with those 2 doers there, it means that there is stuff getting done, things that you are doing, things that you've achieved, which is great. As I say, you're decluttering the room, you're making space, you're figuring things out, and you're moving forward. However, we've got this dragon there, which is naturally a conflict card, and it means not to you, because obviously every Chinese zodiac has their own conflict. Yours is the pig, but the dragon itself in that negative is naturally a conflict card. When we see the dragon here in negative, we can see some kind of resistance. We can see some kind of backing up into a corner. We can see some kind of fight or flight moment. We can see an attack. We can see a battle. We can see some sort of animosity. That's what this is representing, and we can see that from the monkey card that we've let some stuff go, or we've done a few little things here that you may feel bad about. Now you may have this inner conflict with yourself. Now the dragon and the snake are very compatible. They are very compatible, which means the dragon isn't here to necessarily punish you for your decisions. It's mainly saying keep going, because you need to keep on moving forward. If you imagine what you've left behind is now at the side of the road somewhere, you're driving off towards the horizon, but every so often you're looking in the mirror to see if you can still see it. You're slowing down and you're thinking, should I go back? Should I go back and get it? No, you need to move forward. You need to move forward. You let that thing go for a reason. You left that thing behind for a reason. There were reasonings for it. You justified it. Move on from it. Let it go. Move on, and continue progressing forward. You need to progress forwardly, because otherwise you become stagnant and stuck. Or you start going backwards, and then you have to go through the whole thing again, because what comes around goes around, comes around. It's like a big loop. What you don't learn this time, you're going to learn next time. And sometimes those lessons can be harder. They can hurt more. They can make you feel worse than if you had just gone through that lesson the first time. Because a lot of people, they'll experience that pain, that loss, that emotion, that feeling. It will be too much. And then they'll try and go back and reclaim it, or get it back, or, you know, fix it in some way. Problem with that is it's going to come back around again, and that pain is going to be more. The feelings are going to hurt more, or it's going to make you feel more. So when you try to run away from it the first time, now you're facing double that, and then it'll be triple, and then it will just keep going until eventually you'll stagnate because you're not moving forward. This is the best time now to move forward. It's going to hurt. It's going to make you feel things. Like I say, remorse, guilt, grief. You're going to feel bad. You'll be looking in that mirror. But what you can't do right now is stop. The dragon doesn't stop. The dragon is not stopping. There isn't a barrier that can stop that dragon. It's your own self. You're the driver. Nothing's stopping the car but you. In fact, it's not a car, it's a tank. So anything that gets in its way, you're going to plow through, smash through, and proceed. The only thing that stops you or slows you down is you. Catalyst card, the goat. In the negative, change is coming. I can see this because obviously you've had to let some stuff go. You've had to move on from this. You're feeling things about it, and you're expressing some kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say guilt and remorse again and again and again, but it's those negative feelings that come with losing or leaving things behind. It doesn't matter necessarily what it is. Even if it's for the good, it can still feel bad. We can leave toxic relationships behind, but what we take away with us, we have to unload, and preferably in a healthy way, and not go down unhealthy coping mechanisms to deal with that. It was a bad relationship. It doesn't mean that leaving it means that you've left everything behind. There's still stuff that you will figure out on this journey, and that's why you can't stop. Change is coming, and it's going to be a change just like that dragon is suggesting, that is going to be resistant. It's going to come with consequence. It's going to come with more things for you to deal with. But the beautiful thing about the universe is that it doesn't throw anything at you that it doesn't think you can catch. It's not going to throw a bowling ball at you. Not if you're not strong enough to grab it. It may throw loads and loads and loads and loads of ping pong balls at you, relentlessly, over and over and over again. But it's not going to put you out of your depth. It is possible for you to catch and manage some of those ping pong balls. Maybe not all, but you can manage some of them. A bowling ball, maybe not so much. And that's why you won't get thrown that. Because the universe won't put you in a position unless you yourself are ready for it. So even if it feels like it's all falling apart and you're not strong enough and it's too much, it's not. It's really, really not, because you've learned every lesson you need to get this far. You are strong enough to overcome this. You have been pushed towards this place because now is the ready, this catalytic moment, this change, this ending of a book and the beginning of a new one. It's all meant for you as we start moving forward, and that dragon has your back. That dragon is your superpower. It's pushing you forward. It's telling you to be relentless. It's telling you to keep going. So keep going. And we'll see how you get on with that next time when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the snake. The next line that we've got then is this love and romantic spread. So we're going to move that into the center here. This is going to be slightly different because we're going to focus on relationships. Now, obviously, some snakes aren't going to be in relationships, and it may not necessarily apply to you specifically, or at least maybe a majority of it won't. But what I'm trying to do is I try to find the alternative, a version for those in relationships or a version for those that are not in relationships as I go along. As I say, I'm new to this, just like you, so we're going to adapt this and we're going to evolve as time goes by. The first card we got though is in the negative, but it is not in any means a bad card. We got that rooster card. We got the rooster card coming in, and I think this rooster card is not just here as like the dragon to give you some backup at this time, but it is very, very compatible with you. So it's definitely not something that's going to be unsurprising or, you know, catch you unexpectedly. I think you may be feeling criticized by others or judged by others because of the decisions that you've made. Maybe some friends don't like the fact that you have been in this relationship with somebody that they don't like for longer than they thought you would. Or maybe you feel like, I know, friends or family, if you're single, are judging you for choosing to be single or remaining single. We all have those friends or those family members, or at least we have met these types of people who say, oh, you're not still single, are you? Or when are you going to settle down? Or, you know, have you met someone yet? This happens quite a lot, but you don't have to feel any pressure from anybody else to do anything that you don't want to do. Whether that's a relationship that you are happy in and content in, just because your friends don't like the fact that you're not going out with them anymore because you're, you know, spending time with your new partner or a partner in general, or you're single and people are putting this pressure on you about relationships. You don't need to bow down to any of that pressure. You need to do you. And that rooster has your back here. We are looking at a bit of a cost coming here. Like, there is a cost to this. Maybe you are single and it is a little bit difficult because you would like to have a plus one. You would like to have somebody around a little bit to watch a film with, or give you a hand with some, you know, boring things that would be made better if you were with someone. And you'll think about this. You'll think about this and you'll, I'm not going to say that you would dwell on it, but you would definitely spiral into this place of overthinking about it if you allow it to. But what I'm telling you is you don't need to overthink these things, because again, what will happen when it's supposed to and when you're ready. When you're in a relationship as well right now, you may find that judgment may be coming from you as well. Like I say, some sort of feelings or guilt, because we've already seen from the general reading that you've had to make some sacrifices here. Maybe in that relationship, you've had to choose, do I stay in with my partner at the weekend, or do I go on this holiday that my friends have invited me on? And you may be torn between the two, not because you're being pressured, because both parties might be like, oh no, you do, whatever you feel like. But now you feel, well, what do I do? What do I do? Because I don't want to let down anybody. You'll make the right decision for you either way, because I think you think about things differently from other people, just like that rooster, just like the ox. It's the same triangle. So you figure things out differently to others. Anybody out of your triangle doesn't think like you. The doers don't think like you. They don't, because they do. They're programmed to just do. Sometimes they don't think at all. Sometimes they don't think, they just do it. It just comes naturally to them, where they will just see a job and immediately just pick up a hammer and start working. Well, that doesn't always work for the thinkers, because the thinkers want a plan. They want to know what it is. Where's the blueprint? I want to talk to the architect here and see what the plans are. Have we got planning permission for this? Where are the foundations going? Who's in charge of the footings and the hiring of the dumpster truck? Where are the contacts for these people? Who's first aid trained? Who's in charge here? We need to coordinate and we need to organize. And that is a trait of the snake and the rooster and the ox, all in different ways. That thinker team. And this works the same way in relationships. Sometimes all you want to know is what is going on. You want a game plan. You need to schedule and work around that. As long as you do this, you can keep things organized and you can spread yourself across all of these different things. However, don't go spreading yourself too thin. Don't spread yourself too thin. Horse, not necessarily a great card for snake people, not a great compatibility. However, we are looking at it in the positive and we are moving forward. What you're doing right now is exactly what you need to be doing. There's no reason for you to panic or to worry or to get yourself into a tiff about it. There's just no need. What you're doing right now is good. What you're doing right now is concentrating on, the important stuff. No matter what people say around you about how you choose to conduct things and how you choose to do things, what is obvious here in this is that you're getting things done. It's creating this room for change. As you leave things behind, you're making new space for new things. We've got this rooster and dragon backing you up. So even with the incompatible monkey and the horse coming in, those two cards are the two that are in white. So we've got black compatibles and we've got white incompatibles, which means we've got balance here. There is balance in some way. So this isn't in any way against anybody. Your decisions that you make may come with consequences, but I think people associate the word consequence with bad things. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's a negative thing. But consequences can also be good. You can get good consequences for things that just randomly happen because of something that you did, and you can say, oh, well, that was a consequence I didn't expect, but I'll take it. That's a good one. That's a win. And that's what we would call it. Well, that's a win, or that was lucky. But it is just a consequence of the action, just like the negative things that happen as well. The horse moving forward, as it does, is a good thing. It's also associated with romance and intimacy and relationships as well. So as a white horse that's here, you are suited for the exact place that you are in right now. And being in that place means that you have room, because you've made room, for what may happen next. We are going back into this negative, if I don't throw it away first, which is another catalyst card. In the negative, it's that rabbit. The rabbit coming in. Now, there's no great animosities between the snake and the rabbit. They have very elegant personalities, and they don't necessarily go or aim for confrontation or things like this. It's not like the dragon, the goat, or the rooster, who are built as almost warrior types. No. Snakes, rabbits, diplomatic. Very diplomatic in some ways, and in some cases, they are the best people to deal with things like conflicts and animosities. Now, that rabbit coming in the negative, just like that goat in the negative, means that this catalyst is coming, this change is coming in many shapes and forms. We are going to have one that is going to come in very, very harsh and firm. It's going to make you feel, as I said before, almost guilty, almost emotionally blackmailed into believing that you haven't done the right. It's gaslighting you up to make you feel like you haven't done the right thing and maybe you need to reassess. But the other change that's going to come in is going to come in really, really fast. It's going to start making you feel all different emotions, like maybe you were wrong in not just the decisions that you have made, but in the situation of the relationship where You may question like, oh, I should have gone out with my friends on that weekend. I shouldn't have stayed at home. Or maybe I should listen to my mum or my dad when they're saying that it's time for me to settle down. Or, you know, my friends that are saying, you know, why am I still single? I haven't really thought about it, but maybe it's time. Again, you're going to be second guessing yourself. You're going to put yourself into a spiraling place where you're going to put an anchor on your mood. And as I said before, as we're driving that tank, it's only you that can let this affect you. If you throw an anchor out the window, it's just more stuff for you to weigh down, and that anchor is going to be built from your negative thoughts, and that's what we need to stay away from. This change is going to happen, and it's going to happen relatively soon, and it's going to come in fast. It's going to come in hard. I think you're going to see it, and it's going to make some very obvious changes. It's just how you adapt to those changes that matters now. But we'll find out what happens next, won't we? When we do another reading for you guys born in the year of the snake next time. We're now going to move on to the final three. The career, job and finance sort of cards. Same principle as before. Black isn't always an attack. White isn't always all right. Let's flip these over. Let's see what we've got. Black horse in the cash flow department. Not necessarily a good card to start with. Might be struggling a little bit. Might be feeling it's time to tighten that belt a little bit. It may even be something that you haven't even helped, or you didn't help it. You know, you didn't expect it. It's not like you contributed to it. See, now sometimes we are very self-indulgent. Sometimes we neglect our financial discipline. Snakes aren't necessarily like that too much. Being closely compatible with that rooster, financial sort of organization comes naturally. So don't feel it's of any of your fault, but you may be feeling like cash flow is a little bit low. Maybe one too many bills this month. Maybe it's too many outgoings, not enough incoming. Maybe there are things on your mind that's not necessarily making you productive as you could be. Maybe you're self-employed. Maybe you are jobless right now. Maybe you've had a birthday or a holiday that's taken a lot more money than you expected it to. Either way, that money is becoming a bit of a slow sort of slow flow. You've got a slow flow on the financial department right now. Why? Let's see if we can find out. Because things aren't getting done. As I say, you're not being the most productive. Now, the reasoning for this is mainly, I feel, because one, you're not entirely sure how to get into the swing of things. This could be because you are unfamiliar with the situation that you found yourself in. Imagine you've been on a building site. You are a builder. You're a brickie. You put bricks together to build walls and create a house or a home for someone. One day, the boss comes along and says, well, I've got no houses to build for a while, mate, so don't really need a brickie for a bit. However, I'll give you a call when I have. Now you've got a very slow sort of flow coming in, not because of any fault of your own, but simply because there's no houses to build. Instead, what you do is you freelance and you start offering your own services, something new, something different. Start building walls for people domestically for their gardens, or, you know, laying driveways or pathways. It's something that you're not necessarily in the, you can do it. So I'm not going to say that, you know, it's you're incapable, but it's something that you're unfamiliar with. So it's creating a bit of an unproductive situation. We've got a black doer here, which again means things aren't getting done. Lack of preparedness as well, I feel, is something. I mean, that is something that you could have helped in a way. When you started seeing you were in your overdraft, maybe that was time then to think about, what should I do? Maybe that's at this point now. Oh dear, I've get myself into the overdraft. Oh, I didn't pay that this month. Oh no, my boss said this was going to happen 3 weeks ago. Why didn't I do anything? Lack of preparedness. But that's okay. Not necessarily your fault, because you didn't ask to not have any work or, you know, be in this place right now. And I do feel things might start looking up as we start moving forward. It's just we are going to have that slow cash flow for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Dog, though, that's not necessarily a bad card for a snake either. The snake and the dog, they have a mutual respect for each other. So there is a compatibility there, and it's in the positive. What we're looking at here is the opposite of the dragon. So before, when I said that the dragon was more of a kind of attack and stand your ground warrior type, we're looking at the opposite here. The conflict card is that dog to the dragon. That dog is more of a defensive. Be on the defense, guard yourself, protect yourself. And this is what it's saying about your financial situation. You know, be very careful what you're spending on. Don't be too sort of indulgent with it. Be more conservative. Prepare yourself for those rainy days. Put some savings aside, because the outgoings that you're spending, you know, unexpectedly or otherwise, maybe, you know, as I say, there was unexpected expenditure that you had to pay for, or it may have even been planned. You know, a holiday here or someone's birthday there. Maybe you had to have some repairs, a new washing machine, something like this. It's all taking money, 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 cha-ching, 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 all out of your pocket. That dog is now saying, right, the better thing to do right now is to maybe take as much as you can. It could be as little as you can afford. £1, £5, £10, whatever. Get it in a little pot. Get it in the drawer. Start getting into the routine. I know some people collect £2 coins. Every time they get a £2 coin, they put it in a pot, and then once a year they cash it all up. I know people that do this with £5 notes, you know, stuff like this. Maybe you don't use cash much these days, granted. However, even with online banking, there are many different features on banking apps these days that can siphon your money through different means into little pots, little savings accounts and stuff like this. I myself, with my particular bank, which I'm not entirely sure I'm allowed to tell you because it might be seen as a sponsored video, but it's not. But I do know that with my bank, I can do a sort of roundup savings account where if I spend, say, £9.90, it will take the 10p and it will put it in a separate pot. Over time, this adds up. Maybe trying to figure out a way to set that up may be beneficial for you. Save, save, save. Keep that money hoarded, guarded, and kept safe. And we'll find out how you get on with that next time when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the snake. I will obviously be back in around 4 weeks' time, which may feel like it's a bit too far away, or you may feel like, you know, oh no, I know some of you are like, oh no, I've been told this by some people as well. They're like, well, what am I going to do every week? This month reading is for that month, okay? So that's got you covered. However, as I've advised the other zodiac signs, maybe if you feel you need a little bit more, you could, of course, tune into other videos and you could find out, you know, what your partner's Chinese Zodiac is, watch their video, see if you can find out a little bit more on how to approach them or deal with them this week. So anybody watching this video, for those related to a snake or in a relationship with a snake, or, you know, just have snake friends, whatever reason you're watching this, but you're not a snake, and it is for a snake in your life, my advice for you for this month would be just show some support for them. Show some support because they may be in a place where they're overthinking about negative things, and that financial flow isn't necessarily a priority of theirs, let's say. So we need to support them as much as we can in saving and not overindulging, and essentially just looking out for them not spiraling into a place where they want to then rush back to the past and try and fix things. We need to encourage them to keep moving forward. And we'll see how we get on with that next time. Thank you for watching, guys. My next reading will be for those born in the year of the horse. So again, if you've got anybody in your life that is a horse, I may see you then. If not, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Love and peace.